We are talking about the season finale, and we want to know, did it live up to the hype? Was it as good as the previous episodes? Was it everything you could have hoped for? Well, without further ado, let's get into it. Obviously, spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen the episode yet, stop now, come back later, hit that follow button, and yeah, like I said, without further ado, let's talk about this. As a fan of the video game and following the show all season, the show is fantastic. However, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this last episode, the finale, was super disappointing. First of all, a finale should not be 40 minutes. That was way too short, and this episode was way too rushed. First of all, in the video game, there's actually this whole sequence before they get to the hospital where they go through this tunnel and they have to fight a bunch of infected. There's a couple different things that happen in this that I think it was very unfortunate to leave this out because, for one thing, it definitely would have helped create that tension and showing how difficult it actually was to get to the hospital versus them just making it there miraculously without fighting any infected. There's also a sequence where basically Joel gets trapped underwater and Ellie has to save him. Now that's twice that they really didn't show Ellie having to save Joel. And I understand from the standpoint where maybe, Ellie might not have been strong enough to lift a big person like that. And that's kind of why they left it out earlier. When Joel was stabbed, there was a whole different sequence to that. I forget if it was episode 6. But this whole sequence was just honestly terrifying in the video game, and I think it would have just added a whole nother element to the show versus just them, like I said, miraculously getting to the hospital. We also have to point out the fact that Ashley Johnson, aka Ellie, the voice of Ellie from the video game, portrayed Ellie's mom in the show, which I thought was fantastic. This sequence was pulled straight from the video game, and it honestly was beautiful. The whole conversation between Joel and Ellie, and the giraffes are meant to show the innocence, and if you pay close attention, there's different Easter eggs of giraffes hidden in all the backgrounds, and especially in the video game, and it's just to show that there's still some innocence left out there in this world. The whole hospital sequence was pulled straight from the video game and conversations, the doctor, all of that. I think, though, having it be as fast-paced as it was and having that slow-mo and the music playing in the background, I think it really did a disservice to it because it got rid of all of the tension, and with it being so fast, you didn't really have a second to digest what was going on. Like, we all knew that Joel was going to do anything and everything to save Ellie, but in the video game, you get to kind of take your time, and I kind of wish they did that here because we got to the end result way too fast, in my opinion. As someone playing the second video game right now, the Doctor plays a huge part in the second game storyline, which will be huge for the next season of the show. Lastly, the whole conversation between Joel and Ellie was ripped straight from the video game. It was just as tense. Some of you may agree with what Joel did, some of you may not, but at the end of the day, Joel did lie to Ellie, and it does have major implications for the second season, and there are consequences to his actions. Overall, I think the show did a great job of portraying the video game, but I think it did a huge disservice of not really including the infected. I get that they were trying to maybe reach different audiences, and, maybe they didn't think the show was going to be as big of a hit as it was, but not having the infected and being a big part of the video game, I think got rid of a lot of the tension and showing just how treacherous this world really was. So we are getting a season 2. They are going to split into 2 parts, make it longer. So maybe we get more infected there. But overall, I did enjoy the show and I thought it was solid. Just the finale was lackluster for me.